In 1985, a judge opined that any prosecutor could indict a ham sandwich. It's ironic how that observation combined with the recent throwing of a ham sandwich at one of Trump's ICE goons has given rise to a whole new and effective strategy to bring down Trump. Attorney General Pam Bondi has charged Sean Dunn, the sandwich thrower, with a felony. That means a grand jury must be impaneled. Grand jurors are summoned by the court, and each of them, the 23 jurors, is given a copy of the grand jury handbook. Everyone should Google it. You will learn that a grand jury can investigate matters brought to its attention by a federal prosecutor or by a judge. The grand jury can also investigate matters brought to its attention from the personal knowledge of a member of the grand jury or from matters properly brought to a member's personal attention. The grand jury's function is to determine whether there is a probable cause to believe a crime was committed and whether specific persons committed it. So when asked by a federal prosecutor to consider bringing criminal felony charges for throwing a sandwich, the grand jury cannot be forbidden from looking into other suspected criminal acts involving persons other than the sandwich thrower. In fact, no grand jury can be constrained to consider only what the prosecutor wants. I maintain that Donald Trump is carrying on a criminal enterprise and that he has been compared to the character in the Godfather movies who has all the judges in his back pocket. I believe he and his judges have violated the RICO Act and should be indicted. But you say he has been given immunity by the Supreme Court. Grand jurors should ask themselves these questions. Can Supreme Court justices who have sworn to enforce laws and uphold the Constitution legally declare that one man is above the law? The Constitution explicitly mandates that anyone who has participated in an insurrection and has shown an inclination to use deadly force against U.S. citizens cannot hold any government job. Can Trump legally be president? How can anyone who has given aid or comfort to Trump or other insurrectionists keep a government job? Why have they not been arrested? 18 U.S. Code 2383 says that whoever incites or assists in any rebellion or insurrection against the United States government or the laws of the U.S. government, or gives aid or comfort thereto, shall be fined or imprisoned. That statute does not exempt U.S. Supreme Court justices. Though senators and congressmen have the ability to vote against the impeachment, doing so still constitutes a clear violation of 18 U.S. Code 2383. The rebellion may have started on January 6th, but it did not end on that date. The goal of that rebellion was to have Trump illegally hold on to the presidency. 6 Supreme Court justices knew that Trump liked to use force to retain power, and that if he ever regained the presidency, armed federal troops would be stationed in our cities. Those justices illegally aided Trump in returning to power, knowing that Section 3 of the 14th Amendment forbade them from giving aid or comfort to Trump. They nevertheless abandoned the foundational rule of this country and declared that one man, Trump, is above the law. Their second criminal act was ruling that Trump could be on the ballot in spite of being forbidden by the Constitution. Neither the Attorney General nor Trump can stop a grand jury from investigating these 6 Supreme Court justices. A judge might voice disapproval, but he is powerless to stop the investigation and filing of indictments. Pam Bondi, who was tasked by Trump to pursue his political enemies, can also be a target of a grand jury investigation. Grand jurors can demand from the judge that witnesses be subpoenaed, that outside legal assistance be made available, and that only career prosecutors assist them. Indictments should be brought against Trump, Roberts, Alito, Thomas, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, Barrett, Bondi, and any others holding office within the state or federal government who are a part of this criminal enterprise. They would be powerless to stop the prosecution. Only 12 members of a grand jury are needed to indict. So if you are presently a member of a federal grand jury, drop what you are working on, have a ham sandwich for lunch, and get to work on ridding our democracy of the Trump corruption.